Want your car to outlive your mortgage? These 13 shockingly simple habits could help you drive over 500,000 miles without major repairs. Mechanics swear by number 7. Most cars barely survive 150,000 miles, but yours can go 500,000 and beyond. These 13 powerful habits are the secret weapon mechanics rarely talk about. Master them now, and your car might just outlast your next 2. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe, like the video, and ring the bell. Your car and wallet will thank you later. Ready to keep your car running like new for over 500,000 miles? Then let's kick things off with habit number 1. And trust me, this one's a total engine saver. On paper, going 10,000 miles between oil changes sounds ideal. Less hassle, fewer visits to the shop. But if you think you're saving time and money, you're not. You could be walking straight into a $4,000 engine failure. Manufacturers often promote extended oil change intervals to make their cars seem low maintenance. If you follow that blindly, especially during the warranty period, it might seem harmless. But once that warranty ends, the cost of neglect falls squarely on you. If you regularly drive in stop-and-go traffic, haul loads, or live in a hot or dusty area, those longer intervals aren't just risky, and they're dangerous. Veteran mechanics and high-mileage drivers agree. Change your oil every 5,000 miles or every 6 months using full synthetic oil. Yes, it's more frequent, but if you skip it thinking you're saving $70, you may end up paying thousands for engine repairs. It's a small cost now to avoid a massive one later. Manufacturer guidelines are based on controlled lab conditions, not real-world driving. They might get you through the warranty years, but they won't get you to 500,000 miles. Therefore, if you want your engine to survive the long haul, stop treating oil changes like a chore. Treat them like insurance for your car's future, because if you care for your oil, your engine will return the favor. Mile after mile. Let's move on to habit number 2, and this one separates the cars that drive forever from the ones that break down early. Habit number 2, the hidden killer of your car. Why skipping transmission fluid changes can wreck everything. When was the last time you thought about your transmission fluid? If your answer is never, you're not alone. But that silence could cost you thousands. Unlike engine oil, transmission fluid doesn't get regular attention. It's sealed away, quietly doing its job. But if you assume no news is good news, you're making a costly mistake. Here's the dangerous part. Even after 60,000 miles, the fluid might still look clean, red, no smell. But beneath the surface, tiny metal shavings, clutch dust, and varnish are grinding away at your gears like liquid sandpaper. If you wait for symptoms, you've already waited too long. By then, you're not changing fluid. You're replacing the entire transmission. Therefore, smart car owners play offense, not defense. Do a drain and fill every 60,000 miles or 6 years, whichever comes first. Got a hybrid? You might stretch it to 90,000, but don't roll the dice. One more thing, if your transmission hasn't been serviced in years, never flush it. Flushing stirs up the gunk that's barely holding it together. Instead, drain and refill, then only with OEM fluid. Using cheap generic brands may save you pennies, but they can destroy your $3,000 transmission, because in the end, your engine might roar. But if your transmission quits, you're not going anywhere. Let's dive into habit number 3, because this next one could literally save your engine from eating itself alive. Habit number 3, flush your coolant before it turns into liquid acid. Many drivers assume coolant lasts forever. It looks clean. The temperature gauge reads normal. So why worry? But that mindset can lead to one of the most expensive mistakes you'll ever make. Modern coolant may be labeled long life. And sure, it comes in cool colors like pink, yellow, or blue. But after 5 years of heat cycles, it starts breaking down. And worse, turns acidic. When that happens, it stops protecting your engine and starts destroying it. If you ignore it, the damage begins quietly. Rotted water pumps, destroyed seals, clogged heater cores. But it doesn't stay quiet for long. You might start noticing white smoke, engine misfires, or mysterious coolant loss. No puddles, no leaks, just your engine crying for help from the inside out. If your coolant hasn't been flushed in 5 years or 50,000 miles, it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. Therefore, the smart move is simple. Flush your coolant every 5 years or 50,000 miles. No matter what your manual says. Not at 100,000, not when it's convenient. Coolant is cheap, engines are not, because if you wait for symptoms, you've already waited too long. Habit number 4, the silent belt that can blow up your engine without warning. Most drivers don't realize their car even has a timing belt, let alone that it needs replacing. But if it fails, it doesn't give a warning, it just snaps. And when it does, pistons slam into valves, causing catastrophic damage that can cost $2,000 to $5,000 or more to fix. If your car uses a timing belt, not a chain, it should typically be replaced every 60,000 to 100,000 miles or 7 to 10 years, whichever comes first. Even if you don't drive much, time, heat, and oil exposure still break it down. You might wait for signs, but there usually aren't any. No noise, no leaks, just sudden failure. Therefore, smart car owners replace it proactively. And while you're at it, replace the water pump. It often fails next and shares the same labor. Don't risk a full engine rebuild. Preventative timing belt service is peace of mind on 4 wheels. Habit number 5. The $10 fix that could be secretly draining your gas tank's spark plugs are small, cheap, and easy to overlook. But if they're worn out, your engine works harder, burns more fuel, and delivers less power. In fact, bad spark plugs can slash your fuel efficiency by up to 30%. That's not just wasted gas, that's real money leaving your tank every mile. Most cars need new spark plugs every 60,000 to 100,000 miles, but it depends on the type. Iridium plugs last longer than copper, but if you're unsure, check your owner's manual or ask your mechanic. If your car hesitates during starts, idles rough, or feels sluggish when accelerating, don't ignore it. These are early signs your spark plugs, or even your ignition coils, could be failing. If left alone, misfires may follow, and that's when the real damage starts. Therefore, replacing your spark plugs on schedule isn't just maintenance. You've handled your spark plugs, but now it's time for habit number 6, the dirt cheap fix that could be the difference between smooth cruising and a dead car on the side of the road. Habit number 6, the $40 Lifeline. Your fuel pump is begging for. Your fuel filter may be small, but it plays a critical role, trapping dirt, rust, and debris before they reach your engine. If it clogs, your fuel pump has to work harder, leading to sluggish performance and eventually total failure. If your car hesitates, struggles on hills, or feels weak at high speeds, don't blame the fuel, it could be a clogged filter. Most older vehicles need a new filter every 30,000 to 60,000 miles, while newer cars with in-tank filters may last up to 100,000. Therefore, if you're past 60,000 and haven't replaced it, you're taking a risk. A $40 filter now could save you from a $1,000 fuel pump replacement later. Pro tip, always relieve fuel pressure before replacing the filter. Pull the fuel pump fuse and run the engine until it stalls. And work in a well-ventilated area as fuel vapors ignite easily. Because when fuel flow stops, so does your car. Moving on to habit number 7. And this one's not about how fast your car goes, but how safely it stops. Ignore it, and you might not make it to your next mile, let alone 300,000. Most drivers forget about brake fluid until they hit the pedal and feel nothing. This fluid is your last line of defense when stopping matters most. Here's the danger. Brake fluid absorbs moisture from the air even when sealed. Over 2 to 3 years, that moisture lowers its boiling point by over 100 degrees Fahrenheit without any warning signs. If it boils, it turns to vapor, creating air bubbles that make your pedal go soft or unresponsive. That means longer stopping distances or none at all. Fresh DOT3 fluid boils at 401 degrees Fahrenheit, but old fluid can drop to 284 degrees Fahrenheit, easily reached during heavy braking on hot days. Therefore, flush it every 2 to 3 years. You don't need a mechanic to check it. Just use a $20 brake fluid tester. If moisture is over 3%, flush it immediately, because if your car can't stop when it should, you're not driving, you're gambling. Moving on to habit number 8, the maintenance step most drivers forget until it's too late. If you've never heard of the differential or transfer case, you're not alone. But these components play a critical role in how your car drives, especially in rear wheel and all-wheel drive vehicles. They transfer power from the engine to the wheels, helping your vehicle turn smoothly and maintain traction. Over time, the heavy-duty oil inside these parts breaks down and becomes dirty. If not changed every 30,000 to 50,000 miles, it can lead to grinding, overheating, and even gear failure. If you're unsure, consult a mechanic. It's a small step that protects your drivetrain and keeps your vehicle running longer and smoother. Habit number 9, a forgotten sensor that could be silently draining your power and gas. The mass airflow, MAF sensor might be small, but it's essential. Located just after the air filter box, it measures the air entering your engine so the computer can deliver the right fuel mixture. If it gets dirty, it can feed incorrect data to the ECU, disrupting the air-fuel ratio. This leads to poor fuel economy, hesitation, rough idling, or even stalling. Check engine codes like P0100 to P0104 often appear. Therefore, before replacing it, try cleaning it. Disconnect the sensor, spray it with MAF-specific cleaner. Never use WD-40 or brake cleaner. Let it dry completely and reinstall it. If you have an OBD2 scanner, you can check airflow readings before and after to confirm the improvement. Ignoring this habit may mean wasting fuel and performance every time you drive. It's simple maintenance with big benefits. Rolling into habit number 10, the tiny $10 part that could be secretly wrecking your engine if ignored. The PCV valve may be small, but it plays a big role in engine health. It prevents harmful vapors from building up and keeps pressure in check. If it gets clogged or stuck, you might not notice right away, but your engine will. A failing PCV valve can lead to oil leaks, high oil consumption, rough performance, and in extreme cases, blown gaskets or seals. Repairs that can exceed $1,000. The good news? It's cheap and easy to replace. Most automakers recommend changing it every 30,000 to 50,000 miles. A new one costs just $10 to $20 and takes minutes to install. To replace it, locate the valve near the valve cover, twist it out counterclockwise, insert the new one, and twist to lock. Don't forget to check the vent hose for cracks. Therefore, if you want smoother performance, lower emissions, and less oil loss, this tiny part deserves your attention. Jumping into habit number 11, this small tweak keeps your ride straight and your wallet fat. Ever notice your car drifting to one side or your steering wheel sitting off center? That's not the road. It's likely poor tire alignment, and it can quietly cost you more than you think. If your tires are wearing unevenly, especially on the inner or outer edges, your wheels are probably out of line. Toe in makes the front of the tires point inward. Toe out pushes them outward. Both cause rapid, uneven wear, but the real price? Misalignment can reduce tire life by up to 30% and drop fuel efficiency by 10%. Money lost with every mile. Therefore, if your steering feels off, get your alignment checked. It's not a DIY job, it requires precision equipment. Most shops charge around $75 to $100, far less than replacing a full set of tires. If you want a smoother ride, safer handling, and long-term savings, this simple habit is one you can't afford to ignore. Moving into habit number 12, the overlooked mistake that's quietly reducing your engine's lifespan. Nuts. Many drivers believe revving the engine right after startup helps warm it faster, but it actually does more harm than good. If your engine is cold, the oil is still thick and hasn't fully circulated. Revving at this stage means metal parts like pistons and camshafts are moving without proper lubrication, leading to early wear. Therefore, the smart move is to start your engine and let it idle for 30 to 60 seconds. That gives the oil time to reach vital components. After idling, drive gently and avoid pushing RPMs past 3,000 until the engine warms up. Some vehicles even have indicators, like Subaru's blue coolant light, showing when it's still cold. Cold revving is especially harmful for turbocharged engines. Poor oil habits cause 90% of turbo failures. Give your engine a chance to warm up properly. It's a simple habit that protects against costly repairs. Wrapping up with habit number 13, the dirty secret hiding under your car that could cost you thousands. You wouldn't skip washing the outside of your car, but what about underneath? The undercarriage takes the worst beating, especially in winter. Road salt, grime, and moisture build up fast, and if you ignore it, rust starts attacking your car where you can't see. If you live in snowy or coastal areas, this habit is even more important. Salt and sand corrode brake lines, suspension parts, exhaust systems, and even the frame. If left unwashed, these critical components can weaken within just a few seasons. Therefore, wash your undercarriage every season and monthly during winter. A simple rinse can prevent expensive repairs later. You might assume it's fine because you can't see the damage, but rust works silently, and by the time it's visible, the damage is done. Stick to these habits, and your car won't just last, it'll thrive. Which of these 13 habits do you already follow, and which one are you starting today? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss a tip, like this video if it helped.